Hi guys, it's Jean here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm planning on going grocery shopping. So I thought I would take you guys along with us and do like $100 grocery challenge. $100 is the budget that we set each week. And honestly, a lot of times we fail at it, but I'm very hopeful that, we will get there eventually. Unfortunately though, I feel like every time we do, like living expenses just goes up, prices just keep creeping up and it's gross. So yeah, so I guess I'm not like by all means an expert or anything on budgeting. This is just, taking you along with me, sharing what, I know. And I know a lot of people are like the extreme budgeters are really good at it. I've seen a lot of videos where, they save a lot of money by like making frozen meals. And that is something that I've done previously, and honestly it just didn't really work out for us. I love eating food in general, and I can probably do the frozen, but Kang's not the type to be able to. And I do like fresh food here and there as well. So it's a good idea. Like sometimes now if I cook too much, then I will freeze it where I can. But I'm not too strict on the sense of, sticking to like the minimal spending as possible. I still, realistically on our lifestyle and stuff, I do splurge here and there, or the money we save, we end up spending it elsewhere. So I guess just putting it out there, like I'm not strict on budgeting. We just try to do it so we can save a little bit of money here and there. I also did light and easy. So I actually like cooking. I don't mind it, and I love eating. I know some people, if their lifestyle, they're too busy, they prefer to buy like those meal plans, like light and easy, which I did 2 years ago. And surprisingly, I did a video review on it, and I'm still getting comments here and there about it. So just a bit of an update with that. Like I really enjoyed light and easy. I thought it was good, and I learned a lot in terms of portion control. But I only did it for a couple of weeks because for some reason in my mind, I just can't justify the amount. Like, it wasn't expensive by all means. Like I think I did the 5-day meal plan. It was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it cost around $113, $130. Like it wasn't too bad. But considering that was just my meal, Kang is not someone that will do frozen meals. And he is also a picky eater. So I guess in terms of spending how much you spend on your budget, I thought $100 just on me a week is just too much. And when I look at the meals, sometimes I also think, I can probably find the produce cheaper if I made it myself as well. I know there's other companies like a lot nowadays, like frozen meals like Your Meal and stuff like that, which is great for, I think, if you were like just to keep on standby in case you're running out of food or you need emergency food. There's also like HelloFresh, Marley Spoon, all those that do like the produce pack. So they have like different meal options, and then they also send you the portion of the produce that you can actually cook yourself, which again is a great idea because especially when there's 2 people only, it's hard, I guess, finding the right portion amount. Sometimes I feel like I'm spending a lot more on a big bulkier item where I only need a couple of things. But that being said, again, is that you're spending probably like 100, 150 a week, where I feel like I could probably get that produce cheaper. I guess my way of budgeting isn't so much limiting to myself to what I'm eating, but I guess how I can resource and find that produce at a cheaper place. So I guess that is like how I do it. So this is the way I grocery shop. I'm not saying I'm an expert or I'm the best at it, but if it helps you guys out, I'm just sharing the love. So yeah. Anyway, so that being said, every week now, coming up with meals is not a problem for me because I think about food all day, every day. At night, I'm always like, adding to my list or what should we eat. But I'm very cautious as well. I try to come up with meal ideas based on what ingredients I already have, just so I'm not buying everything fresh and then whatever I don't use keeping in the pantry. Like in a way, I kind of want to reuse, minimize on wastage as well. Try to get the most out of products and produce. So every week, so I normally save like a list on my phone because I'm using my phone to record. I thought I would just kind of write it down on a piece of paper, my lovely, neat, readable writing. Honestly, I should be a doctor. My writing is atrocious. But yeah, so basically what I normally do is I write it into categories of where I would shop. So I have here, now I'm not being racist or anything, but this is just how my brain functions and how I categorize. So I have here Asian shops, halal veggie shops, Aldi, Coles, and Woolies. So they're the main ones. And I think because where I live, it's good in the sense that we have all of those around us. And I read somewhere as well that especially if you have an Aldi store near you that's next to like another big supermarket like Aldi's or Woolies, the prices are actually a bit cheaper, where like, you know, if they were a standalone. So that being said, I thought, you know, the prices are definitely a lot cheaper if I went to like the Asian grocers and the halal veggie grocers as well. So I guess every week I come up with a list, and then I guess on the day I go grocery shopping, I do like the same route kind of thing. If I need anything from the Asian shop, I'll go there first. I then go to the veggie shop, and then I'll go Aldi, and then whatever I guess I can't get there, I'll get from the next shop. And then I end up, if I need anything, going to Woolies or Coles, depending on which one has more sales. So this is, I guess, my planning on how I normally shop. But yeah, so basically like what I do first is on my list, so I'm not writing it every week. I just have the staples where I check, yes, I need it or no, I don't. So the staples are, I guess, you know, for Isabel, like, mind you, $100. It seems like a lot for what seems like a small family. For myself, my husband, Isabel, and Coco, like I got to factor in Coco because his meals are expensive too. So that is what we try to budget for. So the staples are like milk, bread, eggs, like just all those everyday items. And then like I also have on my list that if we need toilet paper and stuff, obviously I don't get it every week, but I put it on so I don't have to, you know, write it down every day. And it also helps me remember anytime like throughout the week, if I remember, oh, we're out of something, I'll quickly add that on my list so I don't forget about it, because I forget really easily sometimes. Like anytime I'm out of a bottle of like sauce or something, I would add that on my list so I remember, otherwise I'll forget about it. So I have all those. And then when it comes to, I guess, meal planning, so like I said, meal planning is not something that I struggle with, because I think about food all day, every day, like anytime. But being cautious of what we have, trying to use it up, I plan against, you know, what items we have so I don't have to buy as much. Some days, like, I want to be able to enjoy a steak, but it doesn't necessarily mean I can, like, you know, I should splurge and eat steak for the whole week. I'll have maybe one day steak and one day fried rice, like whatever's cheaper on the other end. So we have the best of both worlds. And also Cam's a picky eater as well. So I always just like run it by him. Sometimes he has no choice because I'm the one that's normally like cooking as well. So anyways, so next week I thought I will have, so weekends I don't really include, because a lot of times if I was to make meals, we usually have enough to cover, or we just eat whatever we have in the house, like noodles or like, you know, leftover rice or whatever. So my plan for next week, here's my little grocery list, which actually seems like a lot of items, but there is something, a plan with that. So I'm thinking next week, I really love steak. Like we've been watching MasterChef a lot, and it looks good. So we'll definitely want one day of steak. Steak, I feel like there are some like meals that you know you can eat more than once. For example, I've also got here paella and gnocchi and chicken fajitas. So those are my 4 main meals that I plan to cook next week: steak, gnocchi, paella, chicken fajitas. And you're probably thinking, girl, that sounds good. Like it is, but at the same time, I know that a lot of the ingredients in here are fresh, and it's also filling as well because there's carbs in it, and also because it's the same kind of meal that I can have it for more than one day, except for the steak, because steak I feel like it's really a once portion serving thing. But yeah, so those are kind of the meals. And with my steak, I was planning to have it with like a bit of fanciness, like pumpkin puree, you know, cherry tomatoes, roasted, like all these, like honestly they sound fancy, but they're actually quite affordable for everyone to make. I think everyone gets a bit intimidated thinking, you know, oh, you know, you spend lots of money going out to a steakhouse, like ordering it. But if you actually look at the ingredients, it's actually quite easy to source and affordable to make, apart from the steak, depending on the quality. But yeah, So in terms of like meat, so we've already got some steak in the freezer. So all I really need to do is buy a lot of like chicken. Chicken's quite affordable out of all like the protein, like the meat. Chicken for fajitas, paella, and gnocchi, they're pretty much mostly all like veggies. So what I normally do is when I think of a meal I want to eat in mind, I then go and write down per meal what items I need, kind of like an ingredients list. So the steak, I'm planning, pumpkin, cherry tomatoes, green beans, maybe some roast potatoes, cauliflower. I feel like I don't eat cauliflower enough and I want to introduce Isabel to it, so I'll have enough for her to try out. For gnocchi, I went to a winery on the weekend and it tasted so good. So I thought, let's try making gnocchi for the first time. And that's pretty much sweet potato, egg, flowers. And I'm thinking of having like a mushroom kind of pan one. And the one thing is I can't just go full vegetarian. I need a bit of meat. So I'm thinking a bit of bacon in it, because bacon I have a little bit left in the freezer I could use. Also some, put some bit of sunflower seeds in it to make it a bit fancy. Paella, the only reason, like, I haven't had paella in a while, and I made one years ago with my girlfriends and it was so good, but I can't find the recipe. But I do have some like rice, the paella style rice in the pantry, which we don't use it enough, so I thought, this is a good chance to kind of use it. So I've also got some frozen chorizos in the freezer that I could use as well. Some chicken stock in the pantry. And then all I need to do is mix in a couple of herbs and like veggies like capsicum, tomatoes, onion, peas. And all those I kind of do have. So even though the list sounds pretty long of ingredients and what I need, if I tick off the stuff that I actually do have, it's actually not much left. And chicken fajitas is one of Kang's new favorites. And I thought, that's something that I made a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and we kind of like it. So it's kind of in our little, meal idea pile on the weeks we can't figure out what to eat. And it's actually quite easy to make and eat, and some of the Mexican corn cobs, because they are delicious. But yeah, so that is our meal plan. So the meal plan itself, if you notice, they're pretty much majority fresh produce, like veggies and fruits. So if my meal was some sort of like an Asian meal where I needed pork, for example, because the halal shops don't, I think that's the reason why I call it halal shop, because they don't sell pork. I don't actually know if it's halal or not, which for me, like, it's not a big problem. But yeah, so for pork is the only one that I guess I go to Asian shops, like the one near me, the quality is okay and it's quite clean, so I'm fine with that. So the Asian shops I normally go, if I was to have like Asian food on the menu, then I'll go grab everything from that, and also pick up, like, if I have money left, pick up some pork bones to make soup another time or what so. But if I don't need to go, then I go straight to the halal shop, and that's where I get majority of my veggies, because I could get like a ton load and only spend like $20. Whereas I feel like if I'm going to Woolies or Coles, I end up spending like $50 on it. So that's where I'll go first. And then because the Aldi is like next to, like in the same center, I then go to Aldi to buy whatever veggies or whatever that they don't stock at the halal shop. And then on top of that, I'll add on to our daily essentials. So I love Aldi. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I generally like it because I find that the prices are affordable. Nappies, for example, I tried the whole reusable one time and it just didn't work out. But nappies can get quite expensive, but their Aldi nappies are the cheapest, and for Isabel, they're comfy as well, so we love it. Coco, he has sensitive stomach, so we always stock up on like yogurt and, sardines and stuff. And we used to get it from Coles and Aldi, but like, honestly, like, I'm quite happy with the quality at Aldi. And they just have like everyday items. Sometimes they don't have a lot, but I do like their sourdough bread that are really good there as well. We buy the milk and everything. Like, a lot of times we don't actually have to go Coles or Woolies after. What I do as well every week, I have an app where it tells me the stock that is half price from Coles and Woolies. So I'm on there, like, ticking all the ones that I like. I don't necessarily buy it, because I find that if I don't need it, then there's no reason for me to buy it. The only reason why I'm buying is if it's half price. But if that's a product that I do normally buy or use, then I may stock up if we have the money for it after. So on sale this week is a Morning Fresh detergent, dishwashing detergent, Spam. We always keep it like Spam around the house in case of like emergencies. And Woolies has Sunkist drinks. So so I have nothing to say about that. We just love our soft drinks, so that's on the list as well. We do need to get toothpaste and things like that, so that's been added to the list, toilet paper and all that, but that is the plan. So my ideal is like normally $100 needs to be enough to cover us, but we also have to factor in nappies takes about a good $15 worth. We want to try and have at least $10 a week left for Coco to go towards his food when we buy his food. So our budget is really $80 that we have to use. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out, but I'm going to take you grocery shopping with us. So just got home. I just put Izzy down for a nap because the time we left was around her nap time, and it's been 2 hours since. So she tends to make a lot of noise going down, but she will eventually go down, hopefully. But yeah, we just got home. I ended up going to only 2 places, the Veggie Halal shop and Aldi, and it was pretty much all that I really needed. There was a few things that I missed, but out of all that, I ended up having $10 left. So $100 down to $10. So I'll show you all the stuff that we got. So these are all the stuff that we got for $90.15. I had a couple of coins in my wallet as well. So these are all the stuff I got from the Halal Veggie shop. I got some lettuce and tomato and some capsicum to make some of the chicken fajitas. I've already got onion at home for that. I've also got some mushrooms, potatoes to make my gnocchi, some little baby potatoes here to make some roast to go with my steak, and some pumpkin puree. Got some avocados for breakfast, so if I want to make my corn fritters, I could have it with like some mushrooms and avocados. Also have some cauliflower. I got the half one because we don't really finish it all, and that's enough for roasting as well as enough for Izzy to try as well. And then also the only meat I got was chicken, some chicken breast and chicken Maryland thighs for the fajitas and paella. So all these veggies, by the way, these came to about $23.69. So that's quite affordable. Like, I reckon if I went to Coles and got this, it'll probably cost me $50. But the chicken, so even though there wasn't much, it did cost me $10.65. Which, in my opinion, for the amount of chicken, I wish, like, I would have liked it to be a bit cheaper. So we're just going to be mindful when we buy meat, what meat we get, and, you know, stuff we can just store in the freezer. But yeah, and the rest are all from Aldi. So Aldi cost me $55.80. So normally I pay under, but because we had to stock up on nappy, that costs $15. That was the bulky item. We also had to stock up on toilet paper and tissue boxes, which isn't a big breaker because it's only like $5, $6. But yeah, so this is like my favorite bread. One of my staples, but this is just enough. It's got cocoa sardines and yogurt. Got enough to make some corn cobs, some gnocchi, and Kyung's deciding to make some banana bread, so we've got some of that. But yeah, that's all the stuff that we got. So yeah, those are all the stuff that we got, and like I said, we've got $10 left, which I didn't end up buying any milk because we still have some milk in the fridge. We might buy it midweek. Also need a can of corn because they didn't have it in Aldi. I think they ran out. And also soft tortillas, which I normally get the ones from Coles, and because we didn't go, I went through the Coles list. So there was toothpaste that's half price that we may need. Everything else is not really, it's more of a splurge, I guess. Like, it's not unnecessary that we must have. So I'm okay. Like, if we have money left over, then I'll probably go and get a few things. Like, I'm not really strict, as in I know I can probably go organic or cheaper elsewhere, but I'm not really strict on that. I just try to stick to, I guess, convenience as well. And because all the stores are in the same area, it's just a matter of choosing out of all those which one is the best and convenient for me. Okay guys, so it has been a week and I thought I'd give you guys an update before I end this video. So at the end of my grocery run last week, I ended up with $10, which I thought was enough to cover the basics like milk, tortilla, soft tortillas, and a can of corn. And also, you know, if we have anything else, emergencies. But unfortunately, we ended up going over probably about $50 or so. Well, it's kind of, yeah. So basically, on Sunday night, we went to my parents' house to eat, and we left home with a whole lot of like noodles. But so we thought, you know, that should buy us another day. But for some reason, we ended up going over because my parents came down on the Friday for dinner and so I had to go and get more stuff because we had enough just to cover 2 people. There was also an Aldi sale during the week on Wednesday for the special buy, and we stocked up on nappies, which I guess with that, I don't consider that counted as grocery money, but in the long run, I guess, you know, it does kind of cross over. And on the weekend, like we have our own money budget set aside for weekend money, and I realized that we actually spend a lot of that on food as well. So that kind of covered up any extras we went over by. So yeah, overall, $100, like I said before, like I'm not completely strict that I'm trying to go bare minimal and save as much as I can. We still try and eat. I think it's like, you know, when you're used to a certain lifestyle and not have to worry about food, just eat whatever you want. We're still kind of, I guess, have that mentality in mind. So I'm always cautious about food wastage. Like for me, it's about if you buy the enough ingredient to use it, but don't waste food. That is my kind of mentality when it comes to that. But yeah, so most likely in the future I will do this again. Hopefully have better luck, but I'll say this one was a fail. But yeah, so hope you liked this video. If you did, let me know. And if you want to see more of these, or let me know what your tips are to, I guess, budget and not miss out on life. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.